Today we're going to be looking at using our information that we know about parallel and perpendicular lines and their slopes and taking that to write an equation for a new line. So given a linear equation at a certain point, you can create another equation that passes through the given point, the one that they're going to give you, and is either parallel or perpendicular to the first line you've been given. So again, keep in mind parallel lines have same slope, whereas perpendicular lines have an opposite reciprocal slope. So we have a process here. We're going to go through some steps. We're going to begin with the parallel set. So when we're talking about writing equations, we have three things we need to do. First, we have to find the slope. Regardless of what they give me, I have to figure out where is the slope. Did they tell me what the slope is? Is the slope inside an equation? Is it ready for me to say, here is the slope? So in number one, write the equation of the line that passes through the point -2, 7 and is parallel to the line y equals -4x plus 1. Okay, I want something parallel to this line, y equals -4x plus 1. Well, the good thing is this is in y equals mx plus b. So I do know my slope, it's right here. So my m, or my slope, is -4. And I'm going to stop and think, I want parallel, so I actually want it to be -4, so that's perfect. But now I need to write a new equation. And the new equation uses the new point. So here's the coordinate I'm going to use. I have -2, 7. I'm going to use my slope, and I'm going to write it in point slope form. So just as a reminder, here, I'll write it over here for you. The point slope form is y minus the y I've been given is equal to my slope times, in parentheses, x minus the x coordinate that they have asked me to use. So let's plug that in. Y minus, they wanted me to use 7 equals my slope, -4, and then x minus -2. Remember, minus a negative addition, so x plus 2. There's step 2. We took the slope, we took the point, we have it in point slope. Now we're simply going to simplify and solve for y. So I'm going to start by rewriting the y minus 7 equals, because now I need to distribute. So I have -4x minus 8. And to get the y by itself, the last step is to add the constant away from y. And so we have y equals -4x, and then -8 plus 7 is -1. So that is my final answer here. When they're looking for an equation in slope-intercept form, my steps are find the slope, use point slope form with the information I have, and then change it into slope-intercept form. So we're going to do the exact same thing with number 2. Write an equation of a line that passes through 3, -1. Well, there's the point they want me to use for my point slope. And it's parallel, that's important. I know I want the same, I'm looking for the same slope as x minus 3y equals 9. Now, because x minus 3y equals 9 is in standard form, I'm going to need to take it and change it into slope-intercept so I can find the slope. So x minus 3y equals 9. Let's go ahead and solve for y. We will subtract x from both sides. So -3y equals -x plus 9. Divide everybody by the -3. Again, I want that y by itself. So y equals, a negative and a negative makes a positive. Now be careful, remember there's that 1 is right there. So my slope is actually 1/3 x, and then plus 9 divided by -3 would be a -3. So now I know that I'm in y equals mx plus b, which means I also know what my slope of the line that they gave me is. It's right here, and that slope is 1/3. Now remember, it told me I wanted to use parallel, so I'm using the same slope. So we're going to go ahead and use point slope now. So y minus -1, so small y plus 1 equals my slope, 1/3, in parentheses, x minus 3. And now we're just changing it back into y equals mx plus b. Remember, we start with distribution. So 1/3 x. 1/3 times -3 is -1. And then I'm going to go ahead and I need to get the y by itself. So I'm going to move that constant. I'm going to undo addition of 1 with subtraction of 1. So y equals 1/3 x minus 2. That is my new equation for a line that is parallel to x minus 3y equals 9 and goes through 3, -1. Okay, so if I know how to do parallel, let's take a look at perpendicular. So in number 3, write an equation of a line that passes through the point 4, 3. That's what I'm going to have to use in my point slope formula. And is perpendicular, remember, opposite reciprocal to the line y equals 2x minus 4. Now I'm already in slope-intercept form, so I know what my slope is. My slope here is 2, but I don't want to use the 2. I want the opposite reciprocal. So I'm actually going to use the slope of -1/2 because it says like 2/1. Okay. And I've been given a point, so we're just going to go right back into point slope form. So I will set up my equation. Y minus 3, right? Y subtract 3 equals my new slope of -1/2 in parentheses x minus 4. We're trying to get back to slope-intercept form, so we are going to go ahead and distribute. So -1/2 x. Well, -1/2 times -4, negative and a negative make a positive, and 1/2 of 4 is 2. Almost there, just need to move the constant from one side to the other. And my new equation is going to be y equals -1/2 x. It's -1/2 x, and 2 and 3 make 5. So y equals -1/2 x plus 5. That's my first example for perpendicular. Let's do one more. Again, we have an equation that passes through a point. We know what that is, so that's the point we use in point slope. It is perpendicular, so I want to find the opposite reciprocal. And the line I've been given is 5x plus 3y equals -21. Again, this is not in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to rewrite it over here so that I can move it around. I know that the first thing I'm going to do is get the 5x to the other side. So now I have 3y equals -5x minus 21. Divide everybody by 3. So y equals -5/3 x minus 7. And I am looking for the slope. My slope here is -5/3, but I want the reciprocal and the opposite. So instead of using -5/3, I'm going to use a slope of +3/5 because I want perpendicular. So we'll set up our equation. Y minus 1 equals 3/5 in parentheses x plus 5. We'll start with distribution, which is 3/5 x. Now 3/5 times 5, that is 3, so plus 3. We undo the constant by adding the 1 to both sides, which puts us back in y equals mx plus b. Y equals 3/5 x plus 4. So again, your steps. First things first, you got to find the slope. If they've given it to you and it's already in slope-intercept form, then you just pull it out and use what they have. But if they don't, if they give it to you in some other format, you're going to have to solve for y and then figure out where is my m. Once you know your slope, you're going to write an equation of point slope form with the new coordinate they gave you, and then you can change from point slope back into y equals mx plus b.